Before embarking on AI based transformation and doing one-to-one omni-channel personalization, it turns into buzzword bingo here, but we need good data to power all of that, right? So how should marketers think about ensuring they're starting with the best data possible?
Yeah. So the biggest challenge out there, especially for those big businesses out there, is too much data and nothing actionable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the race right now is to figure out how do we use what data we have across first party and third party and make it actionable. And the time frames of being able to move on stuff is becoming faster and faster. We'll talk about AI in a second. That's enabling that, but it's mission critical for businesses to move fast. There's new events that happen, changes in the market that if you move fast, you're going to be better off than your competitors. And so from an advertising standpoint, one of the most beneficial things you can do today is you look at performance data. So advertising's changed a ton over the past couple of years. One is personal information is becoming more and more restricted. What's that leading to? Creative is now the major lever for distribution. For those listeners out there that don't understand what that means, the algorithms for like Meta and Google and TikTok and programmatic, they know the end user. They keep that data. They know, Greg, if you like golf or if someone in your house looked at a specific pair of pants or something, and it's going to serve you a bunch of ads similar to that. When someone in your household looks at something and then all of a sudden you start seeing a bunch of ads on your
Right.
phone, you're like, how did that happen? This happened with me last week. My wife was like, why does this thing you talk about keep showing up? And I'm like, well, I know exactly why.
Right. Right.
And what you can do now though is you bring in the data, and computer vision, which has been around a long, long time, can help quantify and look at the different elements of creative. There's really typically 5 different elements across the different platforms. It could be different. There's a headline text, a primary text, what they call a call to action, which is like what you're supposed to do at the end of looking at the ad, and then the image or video. And the multivariate creative testing is testing a whole lot of different value props and stories with this, short form video, long form video, images, determining what's resonating and iterating. Well, computer vision can help quantify what are the colors in there, how many people, what's the value prop, a whole lot of the different elements. It can very correctly identify now. And then there's different layers of advertising you can look at. So we look at a number of different ways. Everyone tells a different story. Impressions, for example, is showing you what's getting distributed the most by a platform. That costs money. The other ones are click-through rate, cost per acquisition. If you look at these in different lenses, and our platform does this, they all tell a different story. A ad that's not getting distributed as much may have a better click-through rate, a better sell rate. And then we'll look at the different stories and then figure out what are those elements consistent across all the ads that are driving clicks and purchases. I saw one example recently where percentage off, for example, in an e-commerce company was performing way better than using 2 different prices.
Yeah.
That's just a small example. And that was shown in the data by looking at percentage off had a much lower conversion rate or a much lower cost per conversion than using like specific prices in the ads. These are the type of small learnings that can be carried over immediately to create